been closer to Jesus before, so can you help me out? Oh, can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out? Can you help me out? Scared to look in my soul. I've been afraid I would follow the road. Yeah, afraid of the things I've been told.
Kids, the Mahoning Valley Hospital Foundation Junior All-Star Tournament going on right now, and we are situated, if you can see behind us, we're situated on the 18th green of the South Course here at Mill Creek, and that is where the tournament is going on right now. Ron Potesta with you alongside Anthony Hartwig. This is going to be really cool. For the last hour since we've been here, we have seen a lot of really good golfers go from 150, 200 yards out and stick the ball on the green, which color me green with envy because I can't do that to save my life.
It's great. We're on the 18th hole. It's like being on the finish line of a great race. We get to see all the great finishes, and we're gonna get to see the leaders kind of culminate at the end of their rounds because everyone's on the South Course today.
Yeah, and right now the leaderboard for the guy. He is -2, and in the second hole of the final round. So he's at -2. Michael Lee, another sophomore from Fairfax, Virginia, is in second place, -1. He is through one hole in the final round. Vibhav Olakam from Ypsilanti, Michigan. He's a sophomore. He's 1 under in the final hole through 4 holes, but he's 1 over for the tournament. So he is 3 shots in back of John Hiller, and he is tied for third place along with Emil Nielsen, a sophomore from Wellesley, Massachusetts, and Eric Zahn, a freshman from North York, Ontario, Canada. They are all at 1 over par. This is a really cool tournament going on right now.
Yeah, and the girls are just finishing up, and the guys are just starting. So, yeah, like you said, a great tournament, and we've been blessed with amazing weather again this week. I mean, barely a cloud in the sky. It's in the mid-70s. A little bit of a breeze to cool you off every now and then. It's just beautiful weather for 2 weeks in a row here at Mill Creek.
And you talked about the women. Right now, it's just a 3-way tie for first place. Michelle Ho from San Ramon, California. She's just a freshman. She's 4 over through 17, so she is approaching the 18th hole as we speak. Sawyer Brockstedt from Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, is just a freshman. She is 4 over through 16, so she's the group behind Michelle Ho's group. And Anna Swan from Northeast Pennsylvania, a sophomore, she is at +4, +3 in the round, in this final round, through 11 holes. So she still has a lot of holes left in which she could steal this tournament. It looks to be a really, really great finish.
She was leading after yesterday, so she's the last tee off of the girls, so she's through 11. So we'll be able to see her finish her round, and we'll keep an eye on those scores to see what's going to be coming of it. Because if there's a playoff, it takes place on this hole right behind.
Absolutely, it does. Playoff. Yeah. That's we're going to do playoffs.
So.
Cue the Jim Mora playoffs. It'll be an awful lot of fun. During the course of the 3 hours, we're certainly going to be talking about this golf course. We're going to be talking with a bunch of people that are really, really involved in the Mahoning Valley Hospital Foundation Junior All-Star Tournaments. I had an opportunity to check out the hardware that the kids in the top three get to take home with them. Oh, dear God, is there some really nice hardware for those kids.
They have a great trophy display area down there set up for the winners. It's one of the ones that makes the younger kids look at it and go, "Man, I can't wait to compete for that."
Yeah, and I remember listening to Brian Tolnar about an hour ago. He was talking about how his son is looking forward to one day competing in this tournament and maybe winning this trophy. And it just goes without saying. We've said it for years. In a world in which contact sports, it's tough, especially if you're playing football. Golf is not one of those contact sports. You're not going to get injured as violently as you might get injured on the football field or the basketball court. And there are some parents that are looking at today's landscape in the PGA and say, "Hey, how come my kid, or why can't my kid do something like this?"
I don't know if this is still true, but for a long time, the women best chance for a scholarship, the best avenue was golf. There were a lot of scholarships in golf to be had, and you saw a lot of women start to drive to no pun intended, but
well played, sir. Well played.
To drive to get themselves a college scholarship on the golf course. So. Yeah, it's a great opportunity. Even if you don't go pro, it's a great opportunity to go compete at the next level in the NCAA. We have over 70 college coaches here. We just saw, Brian Tolnar said he saw Baylor here not too long ago. That's a trek.
USC and UCLA are here, which that boggles my mind. I mean, here they are on the other side of the country, and they're flying in because of the prestigiousness of this golf tournament.
At first, it surprised me, but then, one of the leaders for the women is from California, so not surprised to see the two big California teams in USC and UCLA here, and then Waco, Texas from Baylor. We have a lot.
Oh, no question. And we saw Kent State rolling up in their nice van, which they don't have to necessarily take a flight anywhere because they're about an hour away, and they have a great golf program.
Yeah, they're on the precipice of becoming one of the programs in the area that's just elite, and I think they won a championship in the 80s, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's definitely a really solid program. Again, Michelle Ho is in a three-way tie, for first place. And as I look back, I believe she is one of the three here that are good ways up to the front of the split fairway, where this will be their second shot. And obviously, it's a hole that is worthy of birdies, but you got to get that second shot up on the green. So hopefully they'll be able to do that.
Great thing about our setup here today is we have a camera that's set on the green. So if things get interesting, we'll definitely be cutting to that so people can just watch the what transpires on the 18th green.
I'm looking right now, and I don't know who this golfer is, but she has a shot from about, I would say, 150, maybe 160. And she just nailed this thing. Look at this ball go. That's going to go right on the green. Okay, I just insanely jealous. I mean, number one, how do you do that? Number two, how come I was never taught how to do that? And number three, that's just not fair.
You know the answer?
I have no answers.
Years and hours of repetition.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's what it takes to get there.
Absolutely. Okay.
I don't know if you use the years.
I use the years to I use the years to look at a newspaper and box scores and prep for my life as a broadcaster. There you go.
And there's your answer. Why you don't have it.
And there's my answer. Yeah, I use the broadcasting end of it. Okay, I probably should have had a golf club in my hand growing up. I would have been able to hit shots like this. The third of the trio is on the corner, or not the corner. It's on the left side of the fairway, about 10 feet in on the fairway, and she's in really good shape here.
Let's take a look.
Yeah. Watch this. Oh, high, accurate, and on. Went on the green and bounced into the little rough around the green.
So Brian Tolnar just informed us that all three leaders are on 18 right now. So that's what he says.
All righty. Yeah, Anna Swan, Sawyer Brockstedt, and Michelle Ho are all 4 over. Now, according to the score thing, Michelle Ho's through 17, so she would be on 18. Sawyer Brockstedt was only through 16, and Anna Swan was only through 11. So are they playing in different groups, or are they? Okay, they're all there. Okay. So all three of them, 2 of them got on the green. One was pin high, took a bounce, and then ricocheted toward the rough area. And they're all at 4 over. So if someone can stick the birdie, then we have ourselves a winner. If multiple people birdie, then obviously we go to the Jim Mora files where we'll go playoffs, and there you go.
Ron loves to say that. So
I do. It's
we heard
hilarious.
a lot during football season, and
all right, so they're all approaching. I'm going to stand up here because I'm really looking forward to seeing this. Ouch. Okay, so we have 1 on the edge of the green and 2 on the outer edges, the rough area. So this is going to be really entertaining to see how this works. All right, the first one. Okay, 1 on the green and 2 that are in the outskirts of the green. So the 2 that are on the outskirts of the green go first because you got to get on the green. So then they're both going to be shooting their third shot.
this is a par 4.
This is a par 4, so they're both of them off the green are going to have to shoot a reasonably great shot because you figure the girl that's on the green has the advantage right now. All she has to do is stick it in the hole for the birdie and game over. That comes out pretty good. That's an outstanding up.
It's going to be a wonderful setup for a par putt. So Anna Swan is getting ready for her approach here on the other opposite side of the green.
Yeah, and it just looked like she got cheated because the ball hit the green and it had some right spin to it, which turned out to be the wrong spin to it because it bounced on the green and then went to the rough area.
The greens here are very fast.
And she's not that far away from the green, so this is just a little tap job and see what happens. That's a straight line. Oh, wow.
Yeah, right off the pin.
That was a straight line. All right. Now this is Michelle Ho. And if she sticks this, then she wins the tournament. If she doesn't hit this, it looks like it's going to be a 3-way tie, which will do playoff.
They have to complete par, though. Don't forget that.
Yeah. The 2 have very doable pars. Here we go. Oh, my goodness. I don't understand why that pin was not pulled. If she pulls that pin, this match is over. That ball would have gone right into the hole. All right. So she's in with par. There we go. All right, we have a two-way playoff. And let's see if we can go a trifecta playoff here. For a three-way tie. There we go. Got a three-way tie. Playoff. Back to the 18th. All right. So the three of them go par, and they all finish at 4 over, which leads us to a three-way playoff, apparently. And I have to ask, why was that pin not pulled? Because if the pin's pulled, that shot goes in. That ball literally went off of the flag stick and just went backwards. That's weird. That's a question for Brian Tolnar when we have him on. That really is.
How exciting! I mean, we said it before though. Playoffs could happen. Here we
Well,
go.
we're going to get a playoff. Absolutely, we are. So the trio will head back to 18 because that's where the playoff is going to be. So
Once
this.
This 18th hole, 470 par 4. Got a green side bunker and a little bit of a split fairway.
Yes.
So it's a tough hole to kind of finish here at 470, a long par 4.
Yeah, it most definitely is. Now, I don't know if the women are playing 470.
No,
I think they're
playing from the gold or white.
Yeah,
so,
I think they're closer to 4, which and it's
from,
still that's
from the back tees 470.
Yeah, from the back tees it's 470. I think they're at about 400. But you made mention the split tees. Brian told us this. There's about a 30-foot area that separates the two fairways. One that's the fairway leading up to the hole, and then they go about 30 feet worth of rough, and then they go back to the fairways leading up to the hole. And the reason why, this used to be a creek, and they filled it in and planted grass and whatnot, but then they decided, you know what, let's just do a split fairway and really make the 18th hole challenging. Congratulations, you've made it challenging.
This is very healthy rough, too. It got cut last time on Friday, so it hasn't been cut since Friday. It'll get cut again on Friday.
Yeah.
So a very healthy rough in this 18th hole, in this whole South course.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those holes that it's a very difficult hole to maneuver, and especially off the tee. If you hit the ball reasonably well, then you really don't have a question per se as to what you want to do. But if you don't hit the ball well, and let's say you're in the rough, okay, now you have to question yourself. All right, am I going to hit a ball far enough to go over this first split fairway and onto the second split fairway? Because if I don't, and I land in between the two split fairways, I'm screwed again, and then we're hitting a second shot in a row from the rough. So it's a really interesting and challenging final hole to finish out the course.
You saw all three women really set themselves up pretty nicely. You know, Anna Swan bounced just off the green. A great approach from the other side. And then, of course, Ho is right there with a birdie putt that could have won it. But so all of them navigated it brilliantly.
Yeah, they did. They hit the ball far enough down into the fairway to where they just stuck I would imagine a 5-iron or something of that nature, and just drilled it all the way up into the green, which is just, you know.
And the pressure is on for Anna Swan. She came into today leading 3 over on the day.
Yep.
And what a shot from the right side of the green to make sure she was secure for a par, because the way her day has been going, it could have easily tailspin real quick. So
Well,
impressive.
not only did Anna Swan do a really nice job with her shot from the just off the green, Sawyer Brockstedt had a really nice shot as well. Both of them. Sawyer was off to the left side of the green, and Anna was off to the right side of the green, and they both had tremendous third shots that were very, very close to the hole for par shots. Believe we have the guys shooting here, and one that was not too happy with his shot. Don't know where it went. Just hope it doesn't land around here. Okay, so the one shot landed in front of the green. Second one didn't go all that far, unfortunately. Yeah, this is a crazy, crazy, crazy tournament going on here. This is and a lot of pressure, an awful lot of pressure. We made mention the guys. John Hiller is leading this tournament by one shot over Michael Lee from Fairfax, Virginia. John Hiller from New York City. Both of those guys are sophomores, so that's going to be exciting in and of itself. And then you have what do we got? Three golfers that are all three shots in back of John Hiller. So during the course of the day, we will certainly talk with some of the dignitaries that are putting together the Mahoning Valley Hospital Foundation Junior All-Star Golf Tournament. We're going to talk with Brian Tolnar the week after the U.S. Open. Kudos to John Rahm for getting the U.S. Open championship, and you know it's the golf gods. The golf gods were kind to John Rahm, and I'm convinced the way he handled the press conference was just the start of the Spaniards' run in the U.S. Open.
Those two putts on 17 and 18 were unbelievable to get him the lead because he was one back and he got birdie. Two really tough putts and nailed them both.
Absolutely. Also, we got to certainly going to go off topic and talk about other things going on in the world of sports. Last night, Cavaliers got the third pick. They were supposed to.
The Pistons won the lottery.
Pistons won the lottery. Whether they get Cade Cunningham, I'm assuming that they will. I'm assuming Houston goes Mobley. So Green is right there for the Cavaliers. The kid that spent the 2020-21 season not playing in college but playing in the CBA. So. And he's a solid player from what I understand, and a legit two-guard. So that would actually be something for the Cavaliers to have, being that they don't have a two-guard right now.
We had some interesting baseball with pitchers being
a little
bit annoyed at the checks for substances.
And
managers being able to ask for checks twice. As we look at,
we have a golfer up here.
Up here on the approach.
Yeah. So we have a golfer here that is looking to go to the green.
Update on the winners. Anna Swan ended up winning by 2. Her thing didn't update. Her online scoring didn't update, so she won by 2.
All right, so we just got updated from Brian Tolnar that Anna Swan won by 2 strokes. The score wasn't updated on the live scoreboard, so Anna Swan won over there by 2 strokes on that final hole.
So then she had herself a really good back nine.
Right.
That's outstanding.
So what a bounce back. You go 3 over through 11, and you're able to bounce back. So we're going to have the trophy presentation, and then Anna Swan will come over and be one of our first interviews of the day, the winner of this tournament.
Yeah, the winner for the girls' side of the tournament, and Anna Swan, as we made mention, what a back nine for Anna Swan, as she winds up winning this golf tournament. She was 3 over on the front 9 for the day. She birdied 2 holes on the back 9 and was able to get the victory by 2 shots over Sawyer Brockstedt and Michelle Ho. So congratulations to Anna Swan.
A lot less pressure on that shot than we thought there was.
Yeah, a whole lot less pressure on that shot. Yeah, absolutely. Although, again, and we're going to have to ask Brian this because Michelle Ho had an opportunity to get second place by herself with a really, really good shot, as we have action on the green. And someone just stuck a very nice shot. We had an approach shot that was about 30 yards from us, and this young man approached this shot about as good as you can possibly do it, and he's about to tap it in. Really high, majestic arc on it.
Yeah, you got a club with a lot of loft, and that's how you're able to do that.
And he drills it for the par. So there you go. All right, so the trophy presentation, and then Anna Swan will come over, and we will talk with the Northeast Pennsylvania native. She's just a sophomore. Here's
from Erie, PA, and a great golfing family.
Yeah, now here's the scary part. Sawyer Brockstedt from Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, and Michelle Ho from San Ramon, California, are both freshmen. Yeah, so they're gonna be around for a couple of years
That's why
in
there
this
were a lot of
in this
colleges
tournament.
here watching people.
I don't think
a lot
there's
of sophomores, a lot of freshmen.
I don't think there's any question that the colleges are looking at these kids and forget about the juniors and seniors because they've already committed somewhere else. So let's start looking at the freshmen and the sophomores and boy, there's an awful lot of talent to look at in the boys as well as the girls junior American Junior Golf Association tournament here at Mill Creek. And again, they're playing on the south course, and we are set up just in front of the 18th green. We're going to take a timeout. On the other side, we will continue along on this Wednesday edition of Running Point. Ron Potesta with you alongside Anthony Hartwig. We are in an absolutely gorgeous setting at Mill Creek on an absolutely gorgeous Wednesday afternoon. Back with more after this timeout. Stick around.
At Greenwood Chevrolet, we go the extra mile for you.
By finding you the right vehicle at the right price.
And by being with you for every mile of your journey.
Visit greenwoodchevrolet.com and tell us how we can go the extra mile for you.
New things happen all day. Some are good, some not so good. In today's complicated world, while you're busy working, playing, and living life, we're busy helping you make sense of the day's news. And there's only one place where it comes together with clarity, context, and accountability. It's 21 News at 6 with me, Madison Tromler, and Derek Steyer.
21 News at 6. It's what the day's news really means to you.
Come home to a home made homier with Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods. Inspiration starts at Baird Brothers and is turned into reality when high-quality hardwoods are delivered right to your home. Baird Brothers has the latest design trends. Shiplap and skinny lap interior siding, antique oak rustic flooring, and, well, you'll find them all at Baird. Ordered easily, delivered conveniently, enjoyed comfortably.
WRS Wealth Advisors, the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists. Located on South Avenue in Boardman.
Hi, this is Jim Myers with Myers Family Insurance, your local Medicare and retirement resource. We're excited to have sports back. Whether you're on the field or cheering from the stands, sports unifies communities and brings hope for the future. We're all one team working together. At Myers Family Insurance, we know the importance of a great team.
Our team continues to grow to help you with your Medicare and retirement needs.
The annual election period is October 15th through December 7th. Now's the time to make sure your plan continues to meet your needs for the upcoming year.
Call today.
Hi, I'm Colin Chupa. And I'm Kelsey Clem from K Squared Marketing. Our boutique marketing firm specializes in media planning and buying, public relations, event marketing strategies, and strategic sponsorships. We can integrate our services with your existing game plan, or we can be your entire marketing team. Your goals, our game plan. Let's win together. Call K-Squared Marketing at 330-623-2730 or visit ksquared.marketing to learn more.
Every customer has a story, and at Greenwood Chevrolet, we are committed to making sure it ends with you in the right vehicle. I get to be part of somebody's adventure, whether it's buying a car for the first time, helping them get approved, or finding the perfect car for their budget. I'm proud that people trust me with their finances. They trust me to take care of them, and they trust me with their story. I'm Tracy, and I'm ready to go the extra mile for you, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Quality, customer service, and integrity. Those are the 4 words that have driven our success since 1957 at Joe Dickey Electric.
Joe Dickey Electric is one Mahoning Valley landmark business that stays current with the requirements of our customers. Family owned and managed, we are an electrical contractor and energy solutions provider. Every member of our team adds to his or her skill set through ongoing training. Residential, commercial, industrial, automotive, and more. We keep ahead of the needs of our customers with a fleet of more than 50 vehicles and 24/7 emergency service, so you're never left in the dark.
Jimmy Sutton here, Director of Isle, Purple Cat, and Golden String. We are happy to support YSN and 2 of my favorite people, Scotty Mincher and Super Dave O'Malley. We are an agency that provides services for adults with disabilities. We infuse humor, passion, and joy into their lives. If you know of any folks with disabilities that need our assistance, please contact us.
Your teams work hard and give it all they've got. Well, so does ours, because 20 YSN give you extra effort when covering local sports. 21 Sports at YSN, winning coverage of our Valley's teams.
Running Points on ysnlive.com. Running Point presented by the good folks at Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. You have taken a page out of my book.
You caught me mid-fry. Man, a whole 55. We sing your praises again. I feel like a gospel. We sing your praises again, whole 55.
Let me tell you.
I'm eating the fries right now, and you've already had a cheeseburger.
I was very cognizant of, saying what you said last week. So this cheeseburger.
You know what,
was,
though, Ron? I feel like since we're putting a light on the food, we would be remiss if we didn't take part in it. Right? I mean,
oh, you are a lawyer incarnate. You certainly are. Eat till your heart's content, young man. Oh goodness!
Like we're not just eating random Lay's potato chips on the air. We got food that we're sponsoring.
All right, so Anthony
the
is
QVC,
Anthony's chowing down on the very nice French fries. We have action on the green, on the edge of the green. The boys are now taking stage here in the tournament. One of the youngsters hit a shot that was just short of the green, so this will be his 3rd shot. Nice approach. That's going to roll right up. Oh, so close. That is a great approach to the hole.
Your job as the approach is to get as close to the pin as possible. I mean, of course, it's gravy if you put it in, but you really want to set yourself up to try to avoid the 2 putts. So, once again, we've seen some great short game first from the women that were here to finish off the tournament. Now, from the first couple of groups of boys that we've seen come into this 18th hole, great approaches from off the green.
I kid you not. That approach shot was at least no more than a foot from the hole. That was outstanding. So that was tapped in for par. Now here we go for birdie, and it's going to go a little left and short. And he will have the easy par putt. Put it in. And now we have a birdie opportunity right here. legitimate birdie opportunity at that, about 7 feet away.
And he had the opportunity to see the putt before him to kind of read the break of the green and try to make adjustments.
On the 7-footer. Oh. You'd see the disappointment as he just went to the right. Just ever so slightly he went to the right. And then a good show of sportsmanship as they all fist bump each other. And their day is done. Because we are on the green, or just to the left of the green, on the 18th hole here at Mill Creek.
Since the boys are up, we can say this is officially a 470-yard
yes.
par 4
yes.
on the 18th at the South Course.
And by the way, speaking of the boys, John Hiller and Michael Lee are currently in a tie for first place at even par. John Hiller is 2 over through 4 holes. Michael Lee is 1 over through 4 holes. Eric Zhao, Vibhav Olakam, are tied for third place, 1 shot back at 1 over par. And then Emil Nielsen is 2 over, 2 shots back. Jack Chung, Warren Thomas, and Winston Shen are 3 back at 3 over par. So that's the list of the front leaderboard.
The boys, we have a legitimate chance for a playoff as well. I mean, it's a tight leaderboard. I think 3 people came into today tied for the lead, and we're gonna have to see how that shakes out. They're already through 4, and Brian said we might be expecting a playoff with 3 people tied at the top coming into the day.
Yeah, and we'll see if we get that playoff, but it's still a ways away. Those kids just teed off at 12 noon, so they're flying through the front 9, but. We'll see what happens. While we have some time before we get Brian on at the top of the hour to have his normal sit down, and oh, by the way, we will also be hearing from the winner of the girls tournament, Erie PA's Anna Swan, Northeast PA in the Erie metropolitan area. You talked a little bit about last night, and this is the first week of the umpires checking the pitchers. I feel like Joe Friday should make an appearance and start reading some pitchers, their Miranda rights.
The first week of anything is going to be shaky. Everyone's trying to figure out how to do it well, how to do it efficiently. I'm not going to completely bash Judge this whole idea until we see it work for a couple of weeks and they get things patched up, because this is on the fly. They were just like, hey, we're going to do this. Umpires are like, cool, let's do it. And they've really haven't had a bunch of time to really test how to do it. So what happened they were in Washington.
Yeah, they
right?
were in Washington last night.
Joe Girardi, Max Scherzer already got checked, and then Joe Girardi asked for another check. I feel like there should be a little implement rule where managers can't ask for a check, but maybe not after the pitcher's already been checked once or already been asked to be checked. I mean, otherwise managers are just going to be like, they can use it as a stalling tactic to some point.
Well, Scherzer had already been checked 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, that's why Scherzer was so upset about it, because I mean, and then he started jawing at Girardi, and Girardi started getting up from the dugout, and tempers can flare because these pitchers don't like being accused of doing something they're not doing.
Well, now, in fairness to this whole thing that's going on, and some folks can call it a fiasco all they want to, but here's the bottom line. Spin rates, a.k.a. movement, is down, and the batting averages are going up. So clearly this is starting to have an effect.
Now,
we have some kids on the green right now on the 18th. Well, that was a heck of an approach shot. As one of the young men, hit one from the left of the green. A great approach shot that wound up about a foot and a half from the stick. Just a good approach shot. That's just crazy how good these kids are. Absolutely nuts.
The short game we are seeing so far has been ultra impressive.
it's one thing to be able to hit it off the tee a good 300 plus yards, but the old adage in golf, and all of the golfers will say, you drive for show, you putt for dough. The chipping and putting, it's a huge part of the game, and if you don't have it, unfortunately, it's going to be a detriment to you.
Well, you look at the like for John Rahm, for example, he led the weekend in strokes gained on the putting surface.
Yeah.
In most big tournaments, usually if you're in the top 5 of that statistic, you're gonna have a really good chance to win.
Yeah.
And it's not always the leader that wins because it's a fickle creature, but usually if you wind yourself in the top 5, top 10 of that statistic in strokes gained on the green, then you're going to be in good shape to try to win on the leaderboard.
Yeah, I'm amazed at the way these kids just play the game. They're not just going up to the ball and hitting it. I mean, they're studying the green. They're looking at every aspect of the shot.
Like they've worked for this.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. You follow around some of the jabronis like me, and we'll see the ball, and I'm like, all right, I got to get this thing out. Take a wood and just start hacking.
I don't think Brian would recommend that in his tips pamphlet.
I don't think he would. I have a strange feeling that Brian's probably saying, have you looked at your shot? No, I'm just going to grab this. And I'm just
it
going to.
feels good.
Yeah, good luck with that. Good luck with that.
And that's why a blind squirrel finds a nut every now and then, because every now and then you hit a straight shot like we saw yesterday. Last week live on Running Point.
Well, if you remember.
But then you ruined the moment because you bashed yourself.
Well, I bashed myself on the short end of the club, not the club end of the club. Otherwise, I'd have had a concussion. But if you remember, I didn't exactly grab the club and say, "Okay, I'm just going to hit this ball." I kind of studied it a little bit, so I wanted to make sure that Tolnar looked at this and went, "Okay, the man's listening to what I have to say." And sure enough, the light switch went on, and I hit a ball straight, which
not very far.
Yeah, about 200.
Brian threw in the jab that the driving range balls are built to go further, so the not very far drive.
Even
less impressive.
Yeah,
you were getting, before the show, Ron was getting a little high on himself a little bit, so Brian had to take him down a little bit.
Yeah, it's
what happens.
It's what happens. It's definitely what happens. So, no, but it was fun. It was and it was cool to have a straight drive. So, all right, so we got the kids ending up here on the 18th hole.
We already saw from the last group that a putt from here is probably going to break a little bit to the left. And that one was not what he was looking for, obviously, from his reaction.
A loud groan and a stamp of the foot. And the ball is tossed.
It was the ball's fault. It was just one of those ones that once again broke a little bit to the left, and he just missed it, just to tap in for the next stroke, and that's why it can be so frustrating. These greens are not easy to read at Mill Creek.
No, as I like to say, the greens are in a foreign language, and I can't read foreign languages.
You got to get a cryptologist out here to be like, huh.
Yeah. So while we wait for the next group,
back to Scherzer last night, and then the A's pitcher, I forget his name.
Yeah, that would
ripped
be
his belt off, pulled his pants down. He had threw his hat at the ground at the umpire.
Yeah. There were a lot of guys that were disappointed. Well, guess what?
Sergio Ramon.
Yeah, Sergio Romo. Yeah,
sorry.
And look, guess what? The reason why this is happening is because your peers are cheating. Now, my biggest problem with all of this is, well, if you're caught, you're going to get a 10-game suspension. 10 games is a 2-day suspension.
There's another caveat to that, too, that the team can't replace you on the roster. So
the
team is getting jabbed, too.
I understand that, but you're only getting suspended for 2 games if you're a starting pitcher. I mean, it's like an everyday player gets suspended for 10 games. That's 10 days.
The catcher gets suspended for 10 days, though. And you were saying that they start checking the catchers.
I firmly believe that. It's you shouldn't just be looking at the pitchers, because if you're going to cheat, I mean, look, I'm going to go into the mind of a criminal for a second. If you're going to cheat, and the umpires are going to be checking on you, and you know that the umpires are going to be checking on you.
You're going to have a little bit of a mule, right?
You're going to have your catcher have that stuff on him because they're not going to get checked. That's why the umpires should be checking both the pitchers and the catchers. Because if someone's going to be cheating, everyone's assuming, okay, well, we're going to check the pitchers.
Well, then,
why are you just checking the pitchers?
Then you open Pandora's box. Let's just check everybody.
Well, no, they're the only two guys that are.
Because when you get an out, you're throwing the ball around the diamond, so the third baseman might have something.
Well, that's I kind of speculated that. I mean, but it just look. I mean, it's the spin rate's down, the batting averages are up since they've done.
What? Batting averages are up. But remember in the beginning of the season, you claimed that the cold was making people not hit well.
Well, cold weather, normally people don't hit well.
It's warming up, and the averages are going up at the same time that this checking started. So I don't know if you're going to test the averages going up just to pitchers being.
And I think you have a valid point there. I think there's a valid point because, as I said,
we already saw what a hitter get hit in the head.
Yes.
Over the weekend.
Yes.
So hit by pitches are going up a little bit. That's scary. Because that's what some of the people were. Some of the position players came out and said, I don't want to get hit by a guy that can't grip the ball.
It's not that they can't grip the ball. It's, I mean, there's the common misconception everyone has is, well, the ball's slippery before I put rosin on it. No, it's not. They put Mississippi mud on this thing. The ball isn't slippery.
When you've conditioned yourself to use the Spider Tech or whatever they're using, and then all of a sudden you can't, it is going to be hard.
Well,
you
of
have
course.
to adjust to that.
Yeah, you have to be a little bit more aware of trying to grab or squeeze the rosin bag for all it's worth and take your sweat, take the rosin bag, and there you go. You got a sticky substance. And that's what they've been doing for years. So hopefully enough of
I want to get you a rosin bag and some sweat and see how sticky your hands can get.
I've tried it.
We'll have a sticky test.
I've tried it. It's sticky.
We need to find content for the summer. That might be one. We had the how many strikes Ron Podesta can throw out of 10 pitches idea as well.
This is true.
Because you're saying throw strikes.
Yeah, well,
let's
I mean,
see it, Ron.
it's 60 feet 6 inches. I don't want to blow my elbow out either.
You don't have to throw it hard. You just have to throw it accurately. We're not asking you to throw
the gravity pitch, if you will.
We're not asking you to throw 100 on that. Throw like the 50-mile-an-hour changeup. Get people to bend on their knees.
Yeah, the gravity pitch.
Whoop! that get me over curveball.
Yeah,
right?
it's gonna be the slow pitch softball. Oh, I'm throwing a baseball slow pitch softball style. We're going to take a timeout on the other side. We got the first of many interviews that we will be doing here at Mill Creek, the site of the American Junior Golf Association tournament. And all of this is made possible by the good folks at the Mahoning Valley Hospital Foundation. We're back after this timeout on ysnlive.com.
Hello, I'm Greg Burbick with G. Burbick Farms. For the last 100 years, my family has farmed in Columbiana and Mahoning counties. I began raising cattle in 1996 with the goal of providing a better product for you and your family on the dinner table. Our grass-fed and grain-supplemented Black Angus beef are raised with no hormones, steroids, or antibiotics. We're known for our hometown-friendly service and incredible tasting products. We're locally owned and have customers across the tri-state area. Our products go from our farm to your family. Stop by our farm on New Buffalo Road or visit us on the web at gburbickfarms.com. Don't forget to like us on Facebook. G. Burbick Farms, it just tastes better.
This is Tommy Clem, owner of WRS Insurance Solutions.
WRS Insurance Solutions is a local independent agency that specializes in life, Medicare, long-term care, and disability products. Call us at 330-953-3722 or visit us at wrsinsuranceSolutions.com to learn more.
Good luck to all the student athletes in the Valley.
If you're looking for a quality pre-owned vehicle,
Why shop anywhere else but Tri-State Ford? Choose from our great selection of pre-owned vehicles, plus covered with our exclusive Tri-State Ford Advantage. It includes a 10-year, 200,000-mile warranty with your pre-owned vehicle and much more. Come see why so many customers from the Tri-State area buy their pre-owned vehicle at Tri-State Ford.
Customer focus, community driven. Tri-State Ford East Liverpool or visit tristateford.net.
On ysnlive.com, and we are pleased to be joined by a member of the Mahoning Valley Hospital Foundation, Mike Senchak, joining me on the Wednesday edition of Running Point Live from Mill Creek. We're just in front or to the right of the 18th green. And Mike, I know the Mahoning Valley Hospital Foundation, the main sponsor of the Junior Golf Association tournament here at Mill Creek. Take us through the relationship that you have and how this started with the Mahoning Valley Hospital Foundation being the charter sponsor.
Well, this all started actually 6 years ago, and we cannot take any credit for that. The man that needs to take all the credit for that is Brian Tollner. He was actually the one that was able to, use his charm and get the AJGA to agree to bring a big event like this to the Valley. During that first year after Brian secured them, he approached me and said, hey, we need to have some seed money. And at that point, we were not in a position to do a full sponsorship, but we did kind of like a half sponsorship for the first 2 years. Between the second and third year, Brian and I talked a lot, which we do because we're very much involved in a lot of the projects down here, with including setting up an endowment and things like that. And Brian came to me and said, look, we need a 4-year commitment, $25,000 a year, $100,000 to secure this. And I said, Brian, I'm all about that with these young golfers, but for my board and from a fiduciary responsibility, what is the benefit to the community in some way, in addition to the showcasing of the community? And he says, well, there's a big economic impact. And once we reviewed those numbers, and I really hope this event stays around for a long, long time. We're running out of money for our particular foundation, but it's just a great event for the area. It brings in the top golfers. It really showcases the beautiful metro parks we have here. It showcases what a wonderful golf staff we have here. 2 18-hole Donald Ross courses. And then in addition to that, you have the ambiance of just the community itself. I'll tell you what, I've had parents and a lot of the kids say they've never seen a community so welcoming to them. And I think part of that is Brian and his staff, when they come in, they don't just slot them in. They shut down the course for them. And that's a big, big thing for them, so they could practice and feel like they're wanted here.
Now, and it's small-town atmosphere with a large championship, well, actually 2 large championship golf courses that equals get these people in here and let's make it a yearly thing. And hopefully, I'm with you. Hopefully, this is a yearly thing and it stays at Mill Creek. The amount of money that is coming in to help our economy, which has never been that good in the last 40 years since the steel mills left, this is just a great, great testament to just how wonderful the park is, how great the people are around here, and more importantly, just how welcoming we are as people in the Mahoning Valley.
Yeah, and just to give you an idea, since inception, the amount of economic benefit to those businesses that really benefit from this. They need accommodations, they need food, they need other things, there was one gentleman, because of the cold weather, they had to run down, find a store and buy some clothes for the colder weather. They didn't expect that. All those dollars, it's been about $2 million plus that has benefited the community. So again, somebody says, you invested $100,000. Well, yes, okay, so we invest $100,000. There's the financial impact that it has for the Valley, all very positive. It's showcasing our Valley. It's showcasing the young golfers we have, and it supports what we've been trying to do for a number of years, and that is to strengthen and to grow our junior program and our very young people getting an interest in playing golf.
Mike Senchak joining me from the Mahoning Valley Hospital Foundation. Mike, let's talk a little bit about the Hospital Foundation. Give a plug to the sponsor of this absolutely fantastic tournament. What are you guys about?
Well, what happened is I'm a registered nurse. I still maintain my license in Ohio and Florida. I've been in healthcare since '76. And when I left St. Elizabeth's as a vice president in '98, '99, I was approached by some community leaders. We had some seed money to start a not-for-profit long-term acute care hospital that focused on immunocompromised, those with very bad wounds, those needing vent weaning, and those that were very, very high acuity and complex cases. So we started that. We started the hospital in June of 1999. We had a wonderful run. The good Lord really, we expanded. We had a move out of the old Southside Hospital. The hospital that's next to Ruley's, I designed and we built that. And then while we were building that, the regulation changed. And I went back to my board and said, look, I've told you a lot of times I'm up to the challenge. I'm up to this challenge, but I don't think our pockets are deep enough with this regulation change. So when you have a not-for-profit, the individual such as myself that started it cannot we cannot gain any of that money. So what you do is a conversion, what they call conversion foundation. So at the end of the day, after 9 years in business, we paid all of our debt. We gave, all of our employees a bonus. We closed it down, and we had about $6 million that we started this foundation. And our focus has been on children, on adults with disabilities, with the elderly, with housing, with battered women or underprivileged women. And then the health side of it, we chose to really focus on the golf course. One of the things I have not talked about is the benefit when you look at the amount of rounds that are played down here and the amount of rounds that are seniors that are playing and walking and getting their exercise. This place is very important to them.
Oh, no question. And I have said for years the biggest population from the country in the last 100 years, the baby boomer generation, and those are the kids that were born 1946, the year after World War II. I'm on the tail end of it, born in 1964. All of these,
I'm in the middle.
All of these people are now minimum 56, 57 years of age. All of us, with the exception of maybe the 5 years before me, are on the verge of retirement.
Right.
Healthcare is huge because the baby boomers are all getting old.
Yeah. Well, and again, one of the dynamics that you face there is this. You retire, and the first thing you face as you retire is your identity because, you've put all these years in. It's like Ron Potesta. You retire. Everybody knows Ron Potesta is the wonderful gentleman on radio. Well, now all of a sudden when you retire, what is your identity? We all struggle with that when we retire. The second thing is that we all fight to maintain our health. But if you could find out what your identity is, if you could maintain your health, then the next phase of that is how do I fulfill my life? And a lot of people find fulfillment and joy in coming out, exercising, and golfing.
And that's absolutely a testament. My father is 88 years of age. Probably shouldn't have said that. And he is going to be on the golf course with me after this show is over.
That's awesome.
He loves golfing. He does it
just awesome.
3 or 4 days a week. I told him, Pop, I said, I'm going to be at Mill Creek. Said, get the sticks. Come out here after the show's over. We'll shoot 9 holes.
Yeah, that's awesome. And
yeah.
It's great. And that's the one thing about our demographic area here. I'm fortunate. We have my son and I own, separate from Mahoning Valley, we have a business both up in here in Florida. And I'm fortunate enough to spend 5-6 months a year down in Florida at my summer home, winter home, which is real close to my son. But what you find is when you go down to Florida, you don't have a lot of family support. These are people that are there they've retired, but their families aren't there. You come to the Mahoning Valley, what you find is we have a really knit, very closely knit community. People staying, it was like myself. I was born here. I had opportunity to leave, and I chose not to.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are like that.
Absolutely. And I, for the life of me, I've never figured out this area is so absolutely gorgeous. We have the metro parks. We have in the corridor between Cleveland and Pittsburgh. We have an airport north of the city. We have interstates. We have everything. We have water. And yet we have no Fortune 500 companies anywhere close to this area. The cost of living is inexpensive. The education through most of our school systems is incredibly good. We have a college, a really nice college at Youngstown State. We have golf courses, this one being the finest. We have everything that anyone could possibly want, including all 4 seasons, and yet we don't get any interest in this area. I don't understand that.
I don't know. I don't either. I think that's. I know you do a sports show, but it would be outstanding to do a segment someday with our, economic development experts and our board, Chamber of Commerce, because for 30 years now, actually longer than that. I lost my job in 1976 from Wayne United. I had an undergraduate, and that's how I got into healthcare. I was out of work for 18 months, and hospital called me, and I took an orderly's job. And then one thing led to another. I went for my RN and all that. But the situation is, since 76, what have our leaders done to reinvent and stay with the plan that says we're going to focus, we're going to have 2 or 3 major focus areas that we're going to really work hard to bring in some big enterprise. I just talked to my brother the other day. Raleigh just brought in Apple, 3,500 jobs. 3,500 jobs. The lowest paying job, $160,000.
Yeah.
You do that to a community like ours, it would be unbelievable.
Yeah.
And we have all the resources.
Yeah, it's a head scratcher. Mike Senchak from the Mahoning Valley Hospital Foundation. Mahoning Valley Hospital Foundation is the charter member and the charter sponsor, I should say, of this golf tournament going on at Mill Creek. And you couldn't have picked a better day for the finish of this golf tournament, number one. And between the north and the south course, I kind of like the south course because this 18th hole is challenging beyond belief, and there's some other holes that are pretty challenging on the south course as well. They've done it right here at Mill Creek.
Well, that's why Donald Ross, when he designed both the north and the south, he looked at what his creation was, and he says, you know what, I'm designating the south course as the championship course. And so for an event like this, it deserves to be played on the south course. It's a good challenge. But it's a fair challenge.
And these kids, we've had an opportunity to see them, and it's so incredible watching these kids study every aspect before they shoot the ball. I mean, for a hacker like myself, I'm just grabbing a club, just okay, yeah, gonna hit.
Yeah.
No, you can tell that they're well versed in this game. Their practice is paying off. It's amazing what they're doing.
Well, and you look at the dedication that these parents and grandparents, coaches, friends of theirs, they all have adults with them. The young lady that won today, her grandmother was here because her parents are with some other children that are playing tournaments, so they kind of rotate. And then, she thanked her swing coach. 15 years old, she has a swing coach. My swing coach, if somebody did look at my swing, they'd say, I don't want to be your swing coach. Why would I waste my time? But anyway, she has a swing coach.
Yeah.
If I may, I do want to give a plug to the other board members. Naturally, I'm the president and CEO of the foundation.
Sure.
But the other members of the Mahoning Valley Hospital Foundation, Chairman Jim Keating, who has done since 2000, has been with me, and I can't say enough good things about him. Also, Dr. Ned Underwood, which is one of the very popular physicians in the area. He does a great job, and he's been with us a long time. And then our newest member, Mike Vallis. And again, you talk about blessings in this valley, and I got to tell you, here I am. a kid from the Lower West Side, and I'm being interviewed by YSN. I mean, it's just it just doesn't get any better than this. I mean, this is huge. You know, if my dad was living, his buttons would be popping off.
Mike, always a pleasure. Good seeing you, sir.
Yeah, always a pleasure also. And once again, to you and your team, keep up the good work.
Thank you very much. Mike Senchek, he is the CEO of the title sponsor of the Junior All-Star Golf Tournament going on from the Mahoning Valley Hospital Foundation. We will take a timeout on the other side. We're going to talk with Brian Tolnar. We got a tournament to talk about. Well, this tournament and the PGA tournament coming up later in the week. We'll do that and more coming up after this timeout on ysnlive.com.
No matter what the weather, be prepared with a reliable, efficient Ruud gas furnace or air conditioner from MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning. Call your energy-efficient expert, MP Vivo, today for a free estimate.
Here at MP Vivo, we rely on Ruud, and so should you.
It's storm season.
I think we're under the gun for some heavy storms over the next couple of hours.
And Storm Tracker 21 is ready.
This is probably the one we're keeping a closer eye on.
On air.
And locally, we're going to have a lot of eyes on our area.
Online.
All right, let's talk high-risk futurecast and the timing of this weather.
On social media and on our app.
Rain will come and go tomorrow. There'll be some dry intervals.
Stay ready with Storm Tracker 21.
The severe weather threat now through around sunset this evening.
Myers Family Insurance knows the importance of a great team.
Our team continues to grow to help you with your Medicare and retirement needs.
The annual election period is October 15th through December 7th. Now's the time to make sure your plan continues to meet your needs for the upcoming year.
Call today.
$60 years ago, Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods began with 3 siblings, a hand-set sawmill, and a few local orders. And while business has certainly changed over the years, what has not are our principles of hard work, craftsmanship, and commitment to quality. At Baird Brothers, we're proud to put our name on the products we create, from moldings and doors to flooring and lumber. Thank you for 60 great years. We look forward to 60 more. Baird Brothers, for the place you love.
Hi everyone, this is DJ Yoakley with Your Sports Network. We appreciate your support of YSN and welcome you to the YSN family. Our broadcast streams are brought to you live at no cost to you by sponsors that are local to this community. Without the vision and generosity of our sponsors and partners, we would not be able to bring this game to you today. So please support the great businesses and leaders that are making this game possible. And if you're a business in need of great advertising and sponsorship opportunities, feel free to head over to our site for more information on the right fit for you. We are local, we are loyal, and we are live. We are YSN.
News doesn't stop after the sun goes down. Sometimes you just have to hustle to get it. At 21 News, no matter how far it is, no matter what it takes to get there, we're working to bring you the best stories and the freshest content at 11 p.m. with the context and worth staying up for, no matter what time it is. 21 News at 11 with me, Aaron Simonek, and Derek Steyer.
21 News at 11, news that's worth your time.
WRS Wealth Advisors is the area's premier wealth and retirement specialist. With our combined 70 years experience and comprehensive wealth strategy, we assist our clients attain their goals. Call 330-965-0370 to learn more about our individual and corporate financial planning services, or visit WRSWealthAdvisors.com. Good luck, athletes.
Every customer has a story, whether it's buying a car for the first time, helping them get approved, or finding the perfect car for their budget. I'm proud that people trust me with their story. I'm Tracy, and I'm ready to go the extra mile for you, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Latonia grad Tracy Bryden, don't you know? the financing guru over at Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. They're the folks that sponsor this show Monday through Friday, noon to 3 on ysnlive.com. While we're waiting for Brian Tolnar, certainly have some other stuff that's going on outside of golf, outside of things, and Anthony and I have talked a little bit about the umpires investigating, and I'm still waiting for Joe Friday to come out and read one of the pitchers, Miranda rights, the way they've been patting down the pitchers, waiting for handcuffs to come out and go, you've got sticky substance, you have the right to remain silent, and put the cuffs on the person and lead them off the field. The Indians yesterday, and there's a lot of conspiracy theorists out there, having seen what Aaron Savali has just gone through. Aaron Savali's right middle finger, that would be the throwing middle finger, they're not sure what's going on with it, but he is on the injured list. So here's an interesting statistic. The Indians are 9 games above 500, and they're playing reasonably good baseball. But the starting rotation from the beginning of the year is gone. Bieber's on the disabled list. Savali's on the disabled list. Plesac is on the disabled list. Allen and McKenzie are both in Columbus. There is not one starting pitcher from opening day that is currently pitching for the Cleveland Indians right now. It is absolutely amazing that this team, they've got some problems. They got some serious problems, and we'll see what happens. But the Indians, they trail the White Sox. Despite having all the problems, they trail the White Sox by just 2 games, and we'll see what happens. Cavaliers last night getting the 3rd pick. They were scheduled to be number 5 because they lost that coin flip with the Oklahoma City Thunder. And then when the team was put up at number 5 that was not the Cavaliers, then you realized, Cavaliers have a top 4 pick. And then Toronto was put at number 4. And you're like, it's getting a little bit better because it's now down to Cleveland, it's down to Houston, and it's down to Detroit. And then, of course, Cleveland was taken 3rd. Look, this is not a bad location for the Cavaliers. This is actually a really good location. Detroit is going to get the 1st pick. Now, there's all kinds of talk. Cade Cunningham could be the guy. He is probably the best college player or the best player available in this draft. He's a small forward. He can do it on both ends of the floor. He's a really good shooter, an excellent defender. And then you have the big guy in the middle, Evan Mobley, who's a 7-foot freshman who led USC to the Elite 8. He is unbelievable. And then you have what the Cavaliers could very well wind up getting is Jalen Green. So be very curious to see what the Cavaliers do with the 3rd pick. Now, we're off topic now because we have to bring in the winner of the girls' tournament, the girls' side of the Mahoning Valley Hospital Foundation Junior All-Star Tournament. The winner of the tournament, Anna Swan, who defeats Sawyer Brockstedt and Michelle Ho by 2 shots. Anna, congratulations on winning the championship.
Thank you.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about the front 9. I saw that you went 3 over on the front 9 and were stuck in a 3-way tie with the 2 contemporaries that we spoke about, Michelle Ho and Lanzi Wong, and also one other player. You're 3 over through the first 9 holes. What got the ball rolling, pun intended, for the back 9? Because you wound up 2 under on the back 9. What got your back 9 started?
Yeah, after 9 holes, I knew that me and Sawyer were tied, I think, and I was like, wow. After 9 holes, halfway point, we're tied. So I was like, well, it's win or go home. So I was like, we need to make a move. I started being a little more aggressive. I started clubbing up because I had been short all day, and it's kind of scary to club up on these holes. If you go over a green, you're gonna have a hard up and down for par. And she was making incredible shots. She made some fantastic putts, and I was like, well, you gotta do something because I'd rather not go into another playoff. So
Yeah, now you were talking about clubbing up because in the front nine you were leaving a lot of things short. So is it just a matter of instead of a 5, I'm going to use a 4?
Yeah, for sure. And like the wind was on and off today, so that definitely affected whether I chose like a longer club, a shorter club. So just trying to play the wind, trying to play like how much the ball's gonna spin if you're in the fairway or the rough. So there's like a lot of strategy to today for all the players, I'm guessing, because like I think the course was playing harder than all the other days. So yeah.
How difficult is the South course? I know you guys played the North course. How difficult is the South course compared to the North?
I haven't played the North course in a while, but this course, I feel like the greens are like better taken care of, maybe.
Okay.
I think both 18s are super tight. There's a lot of woods, a lot of ways you can get some higher scores on the on those holes, but I'd say they're really a lot the same.
You're from a family of golfers. You have a number of siblings that are really, really good on the golf course. What's the secret here? A lot of work, a lot of family outings on a golf course. How did this get started?
All of the above. It started with my oldest brother, Isaiah. He's 17 now. When he was younger, him, my dad, and my grandpa would go golfing. And as the rest of us came along, we'd be like, hey, we want to like go and play with them. Like, it didn't really start with like, oh, we want to be really good at golf. It was just more of a, we want to be together, have something to do. So that's how it all kind of started. And like one after another, after Isaiah, Lydia, Jack came along and like wanted to play, and then I kind of joined them after that.
How rewarding is it for you to hoist the championship trophy, especially the struggles of the front nine? And did you have the realistic expectations that you were going to be holding this trophy after that front nine?
After the front nine, I was a little more like, well, you could take second, but I was like, no, I'm not taking second. I can't do that again. Second is just like, it's not the place I want to be. I've worked really hard, lots of practice with my family.
Yeah.
So just having this trophy now is kind of like proof that all of it's paid off.
We noticed an awful lot of college golf coaches scattered around throughout Mill Creek. Is that kind of sort of going on in your mind as well, knowing, hey, I better be shooting a really good game here, because there's a lot of people that could be altering my future in terms of getting a golf scholarship?
Yeah, I didn't really try and focus on who would be watching, because like focusing on your game is like hard enough. So having coaches and colleges and all of that in the back of my mind, I just don't think it was like a good place for me. So I think about it after the round, like, hey, this like shooting good scores, I'm like, yeah, that's good. They're gonna see that. Bad scores, I'm like, hopefully they're not paying attention. But yeah, after a round, I try not to think about it during a round.
We were commenting prior to your approach on 18, and not just you, but everyone, the amount of time that you're looking around trying to figure out, okay, I want to hit this ball in a certain location, and just the preparation leading up to the shot, just looking at the green, looking at a particular part of the fairway. Take us through a normal second or third shot where you're on the fairway and your approach shot to a green. What are you looking for before you hit that shot?
Typically the first thing I notice is my lie. Like, you can have all sorts of lies on a golf course, so like downhill, uphill, like slanted, like left or right. So I typically look at that first, and then I'll take like my practice swings like based on that, like whether I need to choke up or like club up, something, anything. It could be a number of things that I have to do based on the lie. Then I'll like check the wind, see like where it's going, where I should aim. And I guess depending on like which hole and how like I know the courses, I'll like try and figure out where I want to like aim, like so that when it lands on the green, it'll roll a certain way, whether it be, well, hopefully towards the pin. Yeah. And then I'll take a couple. I really typically only take 2 practice swings. It sounds like I take a lot. I really don't. I kind of just notice all these things off the bat because I've played a lot, so I can like kind of adjust quickly to that. And then I'll just focus on some small like swing tips for myself. Like typically at the range is where I like figure out like what I should be telling myself before each shot. So yeah, I'll do all of that, and then I just kind of relax. Like, or I try to relax for a shot.
There you go. All right, you're a sophomore. You're going to be a sophomore. Okay, I got to believe that last year you're probably the best player on your varsity golf team.
Well, me and my sister are on the same team.
There we go.
So, it's a little competitive.
Yeah.
We don't really try and think about it too much, like 1 seed, 2 seed. We just try and play good golf.
Sure. Is she older?
Yeah, she'll be a senior.
Okay, so you have a second year with your older sister. Obviously, the hopes of winning a Pennsylvania high school state championship for the golf team is certainly there for you.
Yeah, for sure. We won actually last year as a team. Me, Lydia, and she was a senior. She's graduating now. Taylor Urban and Ellie Seabolt all went. And we got the job done. It was kind of close, but it was so much fun.
So you're looking to repeat, send your older sister out on a good note through high school, and then continue the fun your junior and senior year.
Yeah, actually, I think our team's going to be pretty good. We have a girl that's my age that's been putting a lot of time and effort in, so I think it's going to be an interesting season.
Outstanding. Without giving away the secrets or anything, obviously, I'm sure the colleges have already started speaking to you in some ways.
Yeah, so technically, according to NCAA rules, coaches aren't allowed to talk to girls that aren't juniors yet. That was a recent change, which is kind of disappointing, but, I can't really do much about it.
Well, you look what you have to look forward to.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you have a lot to look forward to. Let's fast forward about 10 years, so that'll put you in your mid-20s. LPGA. Is that the ultimate goal for you?
It's definitely a goal of mine. I wouldn't say it's something like, I really don't know how to word this because I love golf so much, but if it's not like all the way down the road, like if I like can't or don't want to, then I'm going to be okay with it.
That's a great answer. That's a great answer. And just have fun being a kid.
Yeah, for sure.
That's, now you hoist a few of those, but have fun being a kid. We have an amusement park on the other side of Ohio if you like roller coasters.
Oh, I love roller coasters.
So there you go. I know you grew up in the Erie area.
Yep.
So, yeah, be a kid out there. What's the park out there?
Waldameer.
Yeah, and you can watch the Seawolves play.
Oh, yeah. I'm mostly traveling, so, tourist attractions like in other states are typically what I do.
There you go.
Not in Erie. What's in Erie? I don't know.
Lake Erie.
Lake Erie, yeah, there's that.
What's the next stop for you? Where do you go from here?
This is so bad of me not to even know, but I'm pretty sure Buffalo. I have a qualifier for
There you go.
Something.
Okay. Well, I just take the clubs out, have a good time, and enjoy Buffalo.
I just play wherever they take me.
There you go. And there happens to be a pretty nice falls a little north of the city, Niagara Falls. I'm sure
I've been
check
there.
that out.
So beautiful.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, congratulations on the
Thank
victory.
You.
And best of luck to you. I know that your family, you have a lot of those. So one more for the collection, and good luck the rest of the way in high school. Hopefully your team wins a few more state championships.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Oh, you're very welcome. The winner for the girls' side of the American Junior Golf Association tournament here at Mill Creek, Anna Swan, from the Erie suburb of Northeast Pennsylvania. All right, we're going to take a time out. Be back with more. Stick around. It's a Wednesday edition of Running Point, live from the absolutely gorgeous Mill Creek South course on ysnlive.com.
Ah, the details. Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods is one fine ride. Perfect cornering, superb handling, sporty and stylish, power to spare, plus awesome mileage. Yeah, jaw-droppingly beautiful lines and well appointed with luxurious trim. Put more oomph in your life and start beholding the molding. Find your home's fine hardwood at BairdBrothers.com.
Planning a project around your home or rental property? Trust the electrical service to the local experts with 62 years of serving the Mahoning Valley. Joe Dickey Electric is your local go-to source for responsive, reliable residential electrical work. From everyday maintenance and repairs to new installations, electrical upgrades, and safety inspections, no job is too big or too small. Call Joe Dickey Electric today, 800-549-3976, or visit DickeyElectric.com. That's DickeyElectric.com.
For heating, cooling, and indoor air quality, the Mahoning Valley trusts MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning, offering service and installation. Call MP Vivo today for a free estimate.
MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning. We're your energy efficient experts.
If you're looking for a new Ford vehicle, why shop anywhere else but Tri-State Ford? Choose from our great selection of new Ford models. Plus, we've got you covered with our exclusive Tri-State Ford Advantage. It includes a 10-year, 200,000-mile warranty with your new Ford. Come see why so many customers from the Tri-State area buy their new Ford at Tri-State Ford.
Customer focus, community driven. Tri-State Ford East Liverpool or visit tristateford.net.
At Greenwood Chevrolet, we go the extra mile for you.
By finding you the right vehicle at the right price.
And by being with you for every mile of your journey.
Visit greenwoodchevrolet.com and tell us how we can go the extra mile for you.
New things happen all day. Some are good, some not so good. In today's complicated world, while you're busy working, playing, and living life, we're busy helping you make sense of the day's news. And there's only one place where it comes together with clarity, context, and accountability. It's 21 News at 6 with me, Madison Tromler, and Derek Steyer.
21 News at 6. It's what the day's news really means to you.
Welcome home to a home made homier with Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods. Inspiration starts at BairdBrothers.com and is turned into reality when high-quality hardwoods are delivered right to your home. Baird Brothers has the latest design trends, shiplap and skinny lap interior siding, antique oak rustic flooring, and, well, you'll find them all at BairdBrothers.com. Ordered easily, delivered conveniently, enjoyed comfortably. BairdBrothers.com.
WRS Wealth Advisors, the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists. Located on South Avenue in Boardman.
Hi, this is Jim Myers with Myers Family Insurance, your local Medicare and retirement resource. We're excited to have sports back. Whether you're on the field or cheering from the stands, sports unifies communities and brings hope for the future. We're all one team working together. At Myers Family Insurance, we know the importance of a great team.
Our team continues to grow to help you with your Medicare and retirement needs.
The annual election period is October 15th through December 7th. Now's the time to make sure your plan continues to meet your needs for the upcoming year.
Call today.
Hi, I'm Colin Chupa. And I'm Kelsey Clem from K-Squared Marketing. Our boutique marketing firm specializes in media planning and buying, public relations, event marketing strategies, and strategic sponsorships. We can integrate our services with your existing game plan, or we can be your entire marketing team. Your goals, our game plan. Let's win together. Call K-Squared Marketing at 330-623-2730 or visit ksquared.marketing to learn more.
Hey, welcome back to a Wednesday edition of Running Point, presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. We are in front or to the right of the 18th green here in the fabulous South Course at Mill Creek, and we are joined by the golfing guru himself, Mr. Brian Tolnar. Good Lord, 2 straight weeks we've been here. 2 straight weeks we have had unbelievably great weather. I'm sensing a contract that we do the show every Wednesday in the summertime from Mill Creek. I'm just saying.
I'm thinking, heck of every Wednesday, I'm going to get you here every day.
Yeah,
that's how good it's been when you guys have been here. Last Wednesday into today. So it's awesome. And how good are these kids, and how well was Anna's interview?
No question. And the walk-off that she did, and my voice sounds pretty cool in these headphones. I'm like, yeah, there you go. A broadcaster for the future, for sure. Man, this has just been an unbelievably great golf tournament, and we made mention, and I think you made mention last week, that the advancement that the kids have, not just in equipment, the advancement in their golf knowledge, and we just saw example A, the advancement of their knowledge in how to do interviews. This an amazing thing here at Mill Creek.
It is. They're well mature beyond their years. There's no doubt about it. You're talking about 12 to 15-year-olds, which you know how you were at 12 to 15. I know how I was between 12 and 15, and it wasn't anything like the interview that you just got. So,
absolutely.
They're very special people. They really dedicate themselves to the game of golf. It takes a lot of time, a lot of effort. I mean, you don't get to spend too much time with your friends and family. So it's a true commitment, and how well they handle themselves is extremely special. And what you just saw earlier is part of that. Not only to have the game to play well and to be able to win a junior all-star event. I mean, this is a national event with 70 collegiate coaches out there, watching what you're doing, every shot and every move. And to be able to handle yourself well on the golf course and then translate that into what they do with the media aspect of it off the golf course is unique to watch, especially as a golf professional. To see what they do and how well they handle themselves is priceless.
Yeah, there's no question about that, and we absolutely love just the golf around here and the way the kids are handling themselves, as you mentioned, just absolutely incredible. And the guys are making the turn. John Hiller has a 1-shot lead on Michael Lee, with Eric Zahn from Ontario 2 shots back. So this has the makings of a pretty interesting series, or a pretty interesting back 9 in the final round of the guys tournament.
It's going to be just like the girls. It's going to be a shootout down to the last 5 or 6 holes. A lot of things can happen as you get from 14 on. 14's your really last good shot at making an eagle or birdie on the par 5, and then you've got a couple really challenging par 4s, and 17's no picnic as well on the South Course, and then 18 is just as good as it gets. From tee to green, they're playing it from well over 450 yards. They're playing it all the way back, and the hole plays long to begin with, and it's been soft from the rain that we received on Monday. But the good fortune for them is the greens are very receptive, so they're very conducive to scoring. So they'll give themselves some opportunities, pending they have the opportunity to hit some greens. But hats off to the Mahoning Valley Hospital Foundation, Mike Senchek, his board, Dr. Ned Underwood, James Keating, and Mike Vallis. If it wasn't for their support 4 years ago, we certainly wouldn't be here today, and we can't thank them enough for what they've done, not only for the Mahoning Valley, but for this tournament, bringing in a national tournament to the state of Ohio and to northeastern Ohio here in Youngstown has really made this event and the financial impact of this event very special. We're at $1.6 million right now. And I think by the end of this week, we'll be cracking that $2 million mark. So, I mean, in 6 years and in 4 years of his financial obligation of putting up $100,000 as a title sponsor, $25,000 a year, the return on investment side is unbelievable. To say you're going to walk away with a $100,000 investment, you're going to bring in $2 million worth of financial impact to your community. So they've been with us since year one as a presenting sponsor for 2 years and a title sponsor for 4. Youngstown Live, which is the Mahoning County Visitors and Convention Bureau, they've been with us since year one as well as a presenting sponsor. So, without their support, we certainly wouldn't be here. But it's a great event to have in our local community, and to raise money for charity. That's another component to it as well. We've raised over $70,000 year to date for local charities, which the one is our Mill Creek Metro Parks Foundation, who the money comes to our golf endowment to reinvest into the golf course. So we're certainly lucky and to have one of those as our charities, and then the ACE grant from the AJGA. If you don't know too much about the ACE grant, it's a special program that gives families that don't have the means to be able to participate at these events because they are expensive, and it's a burden on some of the families. But the ACE grant gives players that financially don't have the means to do it an opportunity to come here and play by picking up their expenses for the week. So, what the AJGA does, not only with the ACE grant and getting folks collegiate scholarships, and they really make the players well-rounded with the media training, the course management training. They're basically turning these 12 to 15-year-olds into PGA and LPGA professionals pretty much overnight.
And Brian, you and I talked a little bit about this off the air before the show even started. The representation from the major colleges and universities. Good God, we have UCLA here, we have Baylor here, we have schools on either coast that are converging into Youngstown, and why not? I mean, okay, you juniors and seniors, they're pretty much locked in on where they want to go, but the freshmen and sophomores, now, as Anna pointed out, they're not allowed to talk to these golfers,
right,
but they can see these golfers and have an idea, hey, this golfer, I want this person to be on my college golf team. We'll offer this young man or this young lady a scholarship, and let's see. Just a great atmosphere for these kids to be playing in front of the best colleges and universities.
It really is, and if I'm a collegiate coach, it's nice to be able to come to a community where you're going to see 156 of the world's best in one spot. I mean, it saves you from making a bunch of trips from a recruiting perspective, but to have people here from, we've talked about it in the past, all 50 states have been represented here in Youngstown. We've had 27 different countries, same as what we've got here this week. We've got, players from India, Hong Kong, China, I mean, you name it, Peru, Argentina, France, Germany, Canada, and that's just to name a few. But, I mean, it's nice to be able to see that here. And if you're a collegiate coach, not only you get the players from the U.S. and abroad, but you're getting those international players as well. So, it's great to see. It's healthy for the game of golf, and it's a captive audience for the golf coaches when they come on site here in the Mahoning Valley. We're getting hotel stays out of them. We're getting dining experiences out of them. I was talking to some of the folks at the local restaurants up here that they say when this tournament's here because all the players they've got the gear on and they're here and they're filling their restaurants up from 224 from Poland all the way down to Canfield. So it's nice to have those folks in your community because they spend some money not only with hotel stay and plays, but they're sharing some money in the community by shopping. They're exploring the Mill Creek Metro Parks, which is a big reason why we threw our hat in here to be able to host. We want to showcase Ohio's first park system in the state of Ohio. So we've got a movie night at the Morley tonight. We've got Sonic the Hedgehog playing. It's a good family feature down at the Morley. So, families will generally gravitate down there. They'll play the par 3 while they're here. They'll hit the batting cages. They'll do all the fun stuff that's down at the Wick Recreation area as well. So, it's a great way to show off Lanterman's Mill, Fellas Riverside Gardens, the Metro Parks Farm, and all the outlying areas of the Mill Creek Metro Parks system as a whole. So it's a great way for us to showcase this park at a national level.
Before we talk about the PGA stop this week in Connecticut and Cromwell at the Travelers Championship, I got to say this again. We had Mike Senchak on from the Mahoning Valley Hospital Foundation. It just boggles my mind the fact that no Fortune 500 companies have come into this area knowing full well we have everything that would interest a Fortune 500 company. We have absolutely gorgeous golf courses. We have an interstate system. We have the access to two really nice cities in Cleveland and Pittsburgh, and not to mention go 3 hours and change up 11 and across 90. You're in Buffalo, so 3 cities that are within reasonable driving distance. 4 if you want to include Columbus, and so many great restaurants, the food venue, the Four Seasons, the Metro Parks. I have no idea why no one would want to invest in this community and in the Mahoning Valley. I don't understand this.
No, we're certainly set up, and we're here for the taking. I mean, you've got highways, you've got rail, you've got a Youngstown Airport that's not being utilized where it could be. I mean, you have that access as well. So, I mean, you have water, you have everything that you need here to get industry here. It's just a matter of shaking some people down and bringing them here to see what you have to offer. You know, the cost of living is very inexpensive here. The food quality, you know, having lived up in New York for 12 years, they talk about pizza. It doesn't even hold a candle to what's down here. And you could go, 2 months without, changing up pizza joints, because there's pizza joints and Italian restaurants and everything under the sun here, which makes the Mahoning Valley unique to its own. The food, the ethnic background, the entire gamut is here. But I would love to be able to see something. And, you're hopeful that, an event like this, maybe there's a parent. There's a lot of affluent families here that says, hey, I want to call this area home, or I want to bring my business here because it's inexpensive and it's a great spot to hit all these arteries on the Midwest.
Yeah, it's boggled my mind for years, for sure. All right, the PGA Tour, they make a stop in Cromwell, Connecticut. The Travelers Championship at the TPC River Highlands. This is 1 weekend after an unbelievably great U.S. Open. Jon Rahm, he birdies the 17th, birdies the 18th, gets the U.S. Open Championship. Good for the young Spaniard, a guy that is going to be well, he already is on the map, but he's going to go down as one of the greatest golfers if he can continue to crank out what he's been doing as of late. But let's go to the Travelers Championship. Typically, this is not an event that brings in a ton of people because it's the week after the U.S. Open. But this week, yeah, not bad.
I'll tell you what, they do have a strong field, coming off a U.S. Open and coming off a major, which is, something that you don't normally see after a PGA or Masters or the U.S. Open. Powerhouse field this week. Obviously the tournament that started in 1952 as the Insurance City Open was the Greater Hartford Open for a number of years. Sammy Davis Jr., the great entertainer, was a title sponsor for that. The Sammy Davis Jr. Greater Hartford Open for a number of years. Just enjoyed playing with the golf professionals and always was around golf and the pro-ams itself. It's been around for a bazillion decades on the PGA Tour. It's an open qualifying series, which means 2 spots in the top 8 this week will get into the British Open as we talk into the final major of the year, which is hard to believe that we're talking about the final major of the year. It's the second most attended PGA Tour event beyond the Waste Management Phoenix Open. That's the one where they build the stadium around the par 3.
Yep.
So the attendance up there is spectacular. You're going to go play the TPC River Highlands this week at 6,800 yards, very similar to the back tees here at Mill Creek on both the north and the south, because we're right around 6,800 yards as well. So very short for PGA Tour standards, which if you look at very short golf courses, that really equates to a lot of birdies and a lot of rounds under par. Course favors long hitters, less accurate will tend to do well because their fairways are extremely generous. The par 5s are going to be where you're going to make your hay. You have to birdie all of them all week. There's only 2 that you have a shot to. It's a par 70 this week, but you have to be able to birdie those. They're just a hair over 500, so everybody in that field will be hitting those in 2 with a mid to possibly a short iron. Low scoring, like we said, you're looking at 18 to 20 under this week, I think is going to be your number. DJ won it last year at 19 under, 1 shot over red-hot Kevin Streelman, who made like 7 birdies in his last 8 or 9 holes, if I remember that correctly. Just played extremely well to finish runner-up. And then, any time that you get to a par 70 on the PGA Tour, you're going to be flirting with sub-60 rounds. This is where Jim Furyk shot the historic 58. So I wouldn't be surprised if you saw somebody shoot 58 or 60 this week. Tournament records 25 under, held by Kenny Perry and Tim Norris. But I think there's a couple par fours that you could drive. Number 2 at 341 is relatively short in PGA Tour terms, and then number 15 comes in under 300 at 296. So, neat to be able to see not only eagles on some par fives, but to be able to see them, knocking on some of the par fours. It's a course that's designed by Robert J. Ross, the brother of legendary and Mill Creek designer Donald J. Ross. So, had some renditions as well. Pete Dye went back in there in 1982 and Bobby Weed 1989. So it's they certainly have some of the original holes that Bobby J. Ross put in there, but for the most part, it's a different golf course than when you used to play the Sammy Davis Greater Hartford Open there. So little bit different this week. Patrick Cantlay, the 19-year-old collegiate athlete from UCLA, had the course record till Jim Furyk as an amateur, shot 60 there in the tour event. And Jim Furyk broke that a couple years later.
Sammy Davis Jr. Was the guy that made the tournament famous. And when he was alive, he would also bring Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra over there, and the other guy from the Rat Pack, Joey. Oh, good Lord!
Joey Bishop.
Yeah, Joey Bishop. Thank you very much. It was whenever those four ever got together, it was craziness.
I'll tell you what, it was a who's who with celebrities. You had Jackie Gleason had a tournament. You had Bob Hope had a tournament. Bing Crosby had a tournament. Dean Martin obviously had one as well. So I mean, you had a number of these celebrities that really lent their name and really drove these tournaments to the upper echelon. They loved being around tour professionals, and they all played a ton of golf. When they weren't on the screen or they weren't making records.
Yeah, because Sammy, I love using the 5-wood, man. 200 yards in, I'll put it right up against the stick. Yeah, I didn't write that, but it's been good to me. Yeah. So
we got Bojangles over here.
Yeah, exactly. Give me your top 5, babe. Let's hear what you have to say, man. Yeah.
You got it. Starting off with our sleepers this week, we have 2. We've got Keegan Bradley. He's a home course veteran this week. He lives in the Boston area, and he's right in his backyard. So you're going to see him play well this week. I think he's hitting the ball good from tee to green. He had some good spots when it came to playing well at the U.S. Open. Just couldn't get it done. Has kind of been off the radar a little bit, but I expect him to bounce back this week. He was a runner-up in 2019. Kevin Streelman, our runner-up last year. To be able to string 7 birdies in those last 9 holes in any golf tournament, Kevin's one of those guys that can string a ton of those. Just fell a shot short to Dustin Johnson, who's in the field this week as well. And hitting in the number 5 spot, a 2-time winner of the Travelers, won over Paul Casey in 15 and blew the field away in 17 by 3 shots, is going to be Bubba Watson this week, the lefty, who's done extremely well when he heads to Connecticut. You've got Russell Henley coming in at number 4. He's got 6 professional wins, 3 on the PGA Tour, 3 on the Korn Ferry Tour, which I think when he was back on it, it was the Nationwide Tour, but he's played well. He's coming off a 13th at Torrey Pines at the U.S. Open. He's one of those players that's not afraid to score well. The Texas Open, he shot 20 under. At Sony over in Hawaii, he shot 24 under, and I think you're going to need a number between 18 and 20 this week as to be part of that. Coming in at number 3, look out for this guy the second half of the season. I think he's got a ton of great finishes ahead of him. He's very Jason Kokrak-like in the fact that I think he's going to start playing well, and that's Scotty Scheffler. He's coming in at number 3 this week. Paul Casey's our number 2 spot. He was the runner-up in 2015 and in 2018. Always seems to play well there, and he's definitely does not have the mold for what you would think would score well up there, but his stats and his history of playing well up there is one of the reasons why we have him at number 2 this week. And then number 1, a guy that struggled coming down the stretch of the PGA, played really well at the U.S. Open. I think his game's starting to peak right now. I think he's got plenty of length off the tee to really perform well, and that's Brooks Koepka. I think the feud between him and Bryson going back and forth, I think, is starting to settle down just a little bit. But you'd love to be able to see both of those guys come down the stretch, and I was hoping we would get a playoff, between those two at the U.S. Open just to see what was going to happen. So We've got Brooks in our number 1 spot this week, and I will say this: we had Kokrak picked a couple weeks ago. We picked John Rahm last week, so we're kind of on the heater. So I think Brooks Koepka is in pretty good shape.
I would like to see Koepka and DeChambeau in the final pairing where they have to walk the entire 18 holes, and I'd love to just be a fly around those two just to hear the conversation or just to pick up on what kind of a vibe a 18-hole golf outing with these two, oh, by the way, you're the 2 leaders in this tournament, what that would entail.
I'd like to see him in the steel cage match.
This is true, too.
I think they'd go at it pretty good. I think it'd be an even match because both of those guys are huge to begin with, and I think it would be a bloodbath. But, there's some folks that are saying that it's, just media-driven and it's not they really like each other, but I don't know. He photobombed him again at the U.S. Open, so we'll see what happens, but I'd like to see both of those coming down the stretch to have to play with one another. Either there's going to be a lot of words said or there's going to be nothing said. So we'll see.
I'm kind of with you on Brooks Koepka, and I got him at 19 under par. So
right in the 18 to 20 under.
Yeah.
What ended up winning the U.S. Open, by the way?
6.
6.
Yeah.
1 shot away.
6. I had it at 3, and then I backed away. I originally had it at 8, and then I was like, no, they've made too many changes with this. We're gonna back it down to 3.
The greens were very receptive there.
Yeah,
to be able
were.
To spin it, it's not traditionally what you'd see at a normal U.S. Open, especially led by Mike Davis, who's now retired. And I think the new chapter of running U.S. Opens fairly, I think, started this year, which is good to see. Fair setup. Not being sadistic on being able to play. So I think going forward, the U.S. Open's in pretty good hands.
Yeah, I want to, speaking on the terms of sadistic, I want to look at this double fairway little creature that you have here, and we'll wait and give it a little respect with the left-handed golfer about to shoot an approach shot. We'll see how close he can get this to the pin here.
Hear the Goodyear blimp up there?
Absolutely. All right, he got it on the green. He got it up there.
Pretty good. He's got a putt at it. He can get it up and down for par.
And then we have one gentleman here in the sand. Now see.
Yeah, how about he almost hold it?
He almost hold that.
He's about a foot.
Okay.
Good
See,
stuff.
that's just that I can't do that. That's infuriating. You see a ball go straight up like this when you're in the sand. Mine goes on a line. It doesn't go straight up. That's outstanding.
The level of talent here this week is just certainly just fun to watch. If you get an opportunity to come out, spectators are all welcome. We have bleachers set up between 9 and 18, and on the first hole. To hear where these kids are from being announced on the tee with their name and the staff here, the AJGA is pretty cool to watch. And then just watching them warm up on the range. We got bleachers down there as well. It's like you're at a PGA Tour event. That's just how good that they are.
Okay, I got to ask. The split fairway here on the 18th. Now, you and I talked a little bit about how that used to be a creek.
Yes.
Why did it get changed? It seems to me the creek is absolutely even more sadistic than rough, separating the two split fairways.
Sort of twofold. Pace of play, number one, the less, damage that you have to go through, the less time it takes you to play the hole. But, number two, drainage, probably the most important. We've spent probably the last 5 or 6 years really working on the drainage, not only in the south but the north. Any spots that we get a lot of water being held up, we've put in drainage tile, drainage pipes to tie them in. We're talking about a system that was built in 1926 when the golf course opened in 28, and they finished everything. So you've got a lot of drainage that's been caving in year to date. So we're replacing that during the off season when no one's around. I get a kick out of everybody says, well, what do you guys do in like December, January, February? From a maintenance perspective, the staff is out there. They're digging ditches, they're digging trenches, they're connecting new drainage lines. They're continuing to get the golf course better. And I think the short-term success we've had here in the past 7 years, and especially the last 2 with the greens drainage and the bunker restoration and drainage, has really elevated that level. So, to